Hello everybody and welcome back to York River Cannabis. In today's video we're going to be making a CBD alcohol tincture. But first, if you wouldn't mind, if you're new here to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. And if you wouldn't mind, give the video a thumbs up. It would help our channel out quite a bit. So today we're going to be making an alcohol-based CBD tincture. This is a simple yet kind of complex recipe only because of the amount of plant material that goes into this recipe. Normally, if you've seen my other videos about making cannabis oil or CBD oil, we're talking grams to cup of oil. So, a certain amount of grams per cup of oil, and that's usually the recipe. It can be fluctuated. But today, we're going to be talking ounces to cup. So we're going to be using ounces of flower per cup of alcohol. And the reason this is because alcohol can extract plant material the best. It's pretty much the best home remedy to get the most out of plant material. It grabs onto those cannabinoids and rips them off the plant material, and it makes some really potent stuff. And you can use it for all kinds of different applications, including adding to your wine or drink at night. But for today, we're just making a base alcohol tincture. So I've already measured out 3.3 ounces of CBD Baox flower, and this runs at 21.1% CBD. We've also used our trim bag recently, so if you haven't checked that video out, please do. And we're going to be using some Baox flower trim. And the reason why I have some trim here and flour is because I want to do about 1 ounce of flour per cup of alcohol. So we're going to be making 3 cups of CBD alcohol tincture today. But I want to use the trim to add CBDA to the mix. I really want this to be a full spectrum CBD alcohol tincture. So we'll be using some of this, probably only about 1 ounce or 2 of trim, along with the 3.3 ounces of flour. So, as always, we're going to decarb all of the flour, and we're not going to decarb our trim, because when you decarb, you lose the A in CBDA, and it becomes CBD. So we're going to be getting all of our CBD from the flour, and we'll be getting a lot of our CBDA from the trim. And if you haven't seen my decarboxylating technique, I will run through it really quick today. All I do is I preheat my oven to 250 degrees, and I put my flour in there for roughly a half an hour. You can go a little bit more, you can go a little bit less. It really depends on what you want your conversion to be. But I like to go right about a half an hour, sometimes 35 minutes or 40 minutes. Given the amount of material, I may go 40 minutes today. So I'm going to preheat the oven, I'm going to decarboxylate this, and then we're going to get started using our magic butter machine and the recipe to make our CBD alcohol tincture. Okay, so our hemp flower has now decarboxylated. I did 250 degrees for 40 minutes just because of the amount of material. I wanted to make sure that that was going to be fully decarbed. And while I was waiting for that to decarb, I measured out 1 ounce of Baox flower trim. So now let's get the magic butter machine and start making this alcohol tincture. Okay, so now we have our magic butter machine, and we have our 1 ounce of not decarboxylated hemp flower trim, and we also have our decarboxylated hemp flower. So today the alcohol we'll be using is a fan favorite for extraction. This is Everclear. It's grain alcohol, and it's 190 proof. Now, you can't get this here in Virginia, and certain states you cannot get it in, so you're just going to look for your highest proof. I know a lot of states is a 151 or something like that. Whatever the case is, but the higher the proof, the more extraction. And this is going to give us pretty much the best extraction we can buy. So all we need to start doing is going to get our not decarboxylated trim, and we're going to start adding our decarboxylated flour. Okay, get that in there. All right, So now we have all of our flour in our magic butter machine. And as you can see, this thing is packed full, but that's going to be okay. So this is 4.3 ounces of product. So this is all Baox flour in here. This is 4.3 ounces of Baox hemp flour, whether it's trim, flour, it's just all plant material. So now I'm going to be doing 3 cups of alcohol. So we'll measure here. Now you see why I use 3 cups. Just happens to be a coincidence that it's the 750 milliliter Everclear is just about 3 cups. So once you've measured that out, go ahead and pour that in. Okay. Now we're all squared up. Everything is in. We're going to put the top on our magic butter machine, as we always do. And we're going to plug it in. Okay, so now we've plugged in our magic butter machine. All is well. So for an alcohol tincture, you're going to go to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And I like to do 8 hours. Now you can do 4, but I want the most out of it. So I'm going to do 8 hours. So we'll see you in 8 hours and we'll show you the finished product. Okay, so the magic butter machine is all done. And we just got to scoop off all the remaining plant material. Now remember, this was like 4.3 ounces of plant material. So there is quite a bit. But you're going to be really surprised what it looks like in there. So it all gets blended down, and I'll show you here. So what was once a pile of flour is now gone. So we're just going to dump it all out into the micron bag. Try to get everything out of here. This is quite a bit of plant material now at the bottom. And I'll scoop some out so you can see it. Just put that right into the micron bag. But a lot of plant material in this recipe. A lot different than the oil recipes. So now that that's done, put your silicone glove on your dominant hand so you can squeeze it the best. I'll have to clean that up a little bit. So the amount of plant material makes it definitely more challenging than the oil recipes because you're squeezing 4 ounces of plant material, dried plant material. Now it's all wet. It can be quite the challenge. And so what I like to do is put it right back in to the Everclear bottle. So you know it's the alcohol tincture. So that's what we're going to do here. So that's our recipe. That's what I have for you today, folks. I hope you enjoy this recipe and use it to your advantage. I will leave the recipe in the description below on the video. Go ahead and try it yourself. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. I'll leave those links in the description. And I will see you in another video. Take care.